guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Tori.
And I'm Travis.
And today we're going to be answering 5 questions on what it's like to be in an interracial relationship in Texas. If you have any questions for us, don't forget to comment down below. Also, please guys, like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, as well as all the other things that we do, pranks, challenges, tags, etc. So let's get started.
Let's go. Beginning for me, it definitely was.
It was awkward. Why was it awkward?
Just because it was, racism and race mixing, and just in general is, I won't say racism, but it's just like how we get, if we're out in public, we definitely get people looking at us, like
double taking.
Oh, they'll see her come in and they'll look at her, and then all of a sudden they'll kind of look away and they see me come in, and they see a white guy and they look again, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're walking by, like they see you and then they see you and you're like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like a black and a white person.
Yeah, it's weird for me because being that the fact about me is I've always dated white men, and it's not because I'm not necessarily attracted to black men or Hispanic men or whoever else. I'm attracted to who's attractive. So I'm attracted to attractive people in general, but for me it's a preference, mm-hmm. right? Like you go to the store and you're like, okay, I don't want Skittles, I want a Snicker bar. I mean, it's just like that. I don't feel like it should be this thought process of, oh, you don't like black men, or you know what I mean? Because I get the most hate, not even from black women or black or white women. It's black men who give me the most trouble about me dating white men. So
and I get the most hate from black men as well because I got one of their girls.
Yeah, and that's how they look at it too. And so
but it's all good because we know we don't care about that. We just got off
fine.
No big deal.
I mean, it's totally fine. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that is definitely a factor. Mm-hmm. And I think that also white women. Mm-hmm. Isn't it weird? It's like black men and then white women give us the most trouble.
Pretty much, yeah.
So it's weird. Just like we were walking the other day. What were we going to, some restaurant or I don't know, we were at the mall or somewhere, and of course we had a Caucasian ladies just stare us down. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, even though we're in 2019 and you would think, okay, we're supposed to be over this by now, the whole race thing, it's like still alive and well. And so we forget about it and we go on about our day and we're like, oh, everything's good, but then people remind us every day that I'm black and he's white. And so it's just kind of,
in other interracial couples, I'm sure they can probably agree to that to some extent. Luckily, we live in Austin, so Austin's a very, supporting city, I guess. I'm gonna say supporting city. That's not a good word, but
it's more liberal.
more liberal, yeah. It's definitely a liberal city for sure. So but once we go outside of Austin, we definitely start seeing that more than we do where we live, for sure. For
sure, and more smaller towns, it seems like they have a problem with it, and it's unfortunate just because, like I said, we understand who we are. We understand we're in an interracial. It's really hard to say that relationship, but it doesn't have to be the highlight. Like love is love, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of what I live by. I don't know.
Sure, I agree.
Yeah. But so
it goes back to the question: is it awkward for you to talk about race?
It's not awkward for me
because you're used to it.
I think we're weird and unique in a certain way because you've never dated a black woman before me, and I've never dated a black man. I've always dated white men. So for me, I feel like it's like two extremes, and so for me, it's not. I'm so used to it, but still, and although I'm used to it, getting the hate, getting the looks, it's like you still never really get used to it.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's because I think of it as just a normal thing.
Yeah. No,
And as far as like the next question is, do we have a problem dating our own race? No, as I said.
I think we kind of answered that question.
But I think I don't know what it has to do with. I really don't know the actual reason. And people say, well, why? You don't want to date a black man. There's nothing. There's nothing wrong with dating black men. I think that. You know what I mean? People say, oh, is it different dating a white guy? It's like, love is love, right? Mm-hmm. So you can't generalize it and say, why can't you date this specific person, right? Because that specific person could be a horrible person, whether they're black, white, Hispanic, or whatever else.
But doesn't this date back to your kindergarten days, maybe first grade?
Wait, what does that mean?
The picture of you in kindergarten?
Oh, yeah. I was like in kindergarten dating some white guy, right? I don't even know who he is.
You were dating in kindergarten?
I was.
You were? I thought you just had your hand on his lap.
I did. In kindergarten.
Yeah.
And my parents
basically,
were like...
her parents knew that.
My parents were like, we knew all along when you were, what, in second grade or something?
Whatever, I don't even know.
That you were going to always date white guys. They didn't give me trouble about it, about dating white guys. My parents, at first, they had a bit of a hard time with it. I don't think it was a hard time as in because they're racist, they don't want me with a white man. But I think they were kind of scared of what was to come in my life. So I don't think it was them hating the white man, right? It was just, okay, are you ready for what's going to happen in this world with you dating a different race? And so they were just, I guess, in a way trying to protect me. And so they were like, well, just get you a black man and call it a day, you know? And so it was weird for my dad at first to acknowledge that I wanted to do something differently, just because he's a black man. So he's like, okay, well, you know, why can't you get someone like me? And so I don't know if it was a dislike for that particular race. I don't think it was that at all, because my parents are not racist at all. They just want what they want from me. Mm-hmm. And so when I started dating more and more white men, my parents came around and they were fine with it. And they love you. You know what I mean? Like, they see you as just this great man, great personality, and race is not even a factor anymore. So that shows you right there, it's not about just a race, it's about the person. Yeah. Right? So what about your dad?
Me, I'm like, you know, obviously, you know, Tori's the first black woman. I've dated Hispanics, and I've dated whites, but I haven't dated a black girl. So this is my first black woman that I've dated, and yeah, my parents and my family is completely cool with it. You know, I told my dad, I said, hey Dad, I'm dating somebody. He's like, all right, cool, you know, whatever. And I was like, well, she's a little different. And he's like, what do you mean she's different? And I was like, well, I don't mean she's different, but it's like somebody I haven't dated before. And he's like, well, what do you mean? And I said, she's black. And he's like, what the hell does that mean? Or what does that matter? And I was like, I said, it doesn't matter at all. I'm just telling you, you know what I mean? So my dad loves her, you know, he doesn't. He like, my family's really cool. They don't see color. So, you know, for me, that wasn't a factor. And good thing we don't have to deal with that, because there's a lot of people that do have to deal with that, you know? Families that aren't accepting of color or whites or whatever it may be, you know what I mean? Yeah. So luckily we haven't had to face that.
Yeah, we haven't. Which is a really good thing. Next question, which I think is kind of silly, but we'll answer it anyway. About they're saying, do we like or enjoy the same music? And for me, it's actually kind of weird, because we're in a situation where you would think
the stereotypes are reversed.
Yeah, you would think our music choices would be the opposite, because I listen to more rock, pop, you know, jazz, or whatnot, and you listen to more rap.
I do.
But he knows like all the rappers. I do. Dating all the way back, and I'm just like, you're schooling me.
Tupac, rest in peace.
I know who Tupac is.
Yeah.
Everybody, I mean, come on. But I listen to, I'm a singer and musician myself, so I listen to a little bit more of the older style hits from the 80s.
And I listen to a lot of I listen to every type of music, but I kind of grew up listening to hip hop. So like if I revert back to music of like, that's like, you know, what type of music do you really, really love? Like, I really love hip hop and or rap. So
speaking of which, like, what about the stereotypes of black women that are out there, that we're
black women,
that we're loud, that we're angry, I mean, the list goes on.
I mean, I haven't experienced that. But one thing that we have experienced in this relationship about stereotypes is with black people, and nothing against, you know, black people, but for some reason, some don't know how to swim.
That is true.
Yeah. And
I don't know how to swim.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is. I guess maybe, you know, especially women, you know, it seems to be more women than men. So if y'all can help us out, you know, what is it about swimming? I know Tori had an experience where her dad it wasn't her dad.
I almost drowned.
Yeah, she almost drowned, yeah.
So I stayed away from water.
Until recently.
Yeah.
Just about a few weeks ago, we should have recorded it, but
I know, it's an experience.
I actually taught her how to swim, so, you know, So yeah, so I guess that stereotype, I think black women or men, whatever, don't know how to swim that often. It's really weird. So, angry, no, because you're not an angry person.
I think all women can be angry.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, the stereotype about black women being just, oh my gosh, we're angry, we're hard to deal with. You know, like, I don't really know exactly where that stems from, because I've seen white women get angry. I've seen Hispanic women get angry. I've seen Asian women get angry and blow up. So, I you know, maybe they're saying, oh, black women do it more often, but I don't know. I see it pretty equally, honestly.
Yeah. And another thing with black people is fried chicken and watermelon. For some reason, that's a stereotype, but we're both one and the same. We love fried chicken, and I love watermelon more than she does. So
yeah,
I don't think that's really really stereotype.
Yeah, the culture thing is really not. There's not much of a difference.
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird because we are actually in an interracial relationship, and so you know we have a lot of things in common.
Sure,
and I think that just in general, the people in every country have to realize that we're actually more of the same when we think we're different. Like we're actually the same in a lot of ways, and I think that people would learn that if they, you know, kind of hung out with a different a person of a different race more often, and then we won't have these separations of, you know, a certain race thinking that this other race is this way or that way, or you know, like another stereotype or generalization of white men is that they're arrogant or that they're entitled or that you know what I mean, like they just want power, and that could be true to a certain extent, but from my experience I don't see that that often. So so yeah, I mean, it's so weird how we come up with all these generalizations.
It's just, it mainly stems from, you know what I mean, the difference of white and black or cultures, whatever the case may be. So, you know, it could be a white and black thing, or, you know, it could be a race thing, you know what I mean, culture. It could be, you know, lots of things. Because, you know, we don't just do it with color, we do it with races too, you know, as far as different races, you know. We think, you know, we stereotype different races. So, I mean, cultures, I'm sorry, not races, cultures. Could be Middle Eastern, could be, you know, whatever. It doesn't matter. So, you know, that's very that's common.
Yeah. But overall, I mean, we do experience some sort of racism sometimes. I mean, so to answer the question, it's still here. But I think that it may take some time. But I think that just in America as a country, I think we're going to get better at that. Sure. I really do. And I think that more of this is good.
All right, guys. So that about wraps it up for us. Thanks for watching. And if you guys have any questions or you guys want to comment below, don't forget to do that. Ask us anything. That's what it's there for. Let us know you're watching. Let us know you're here. Don't forget to like, subscribe as well.